Yeah, it's I tell you, when you're in the fire and your back's against the wall and you've had disappointing times, um, there's very few people that um, you can probably count on to fight like heck to help change whatever the circumstances are. And obviously, to God be the glory first. But that group of young men and that group of coaches, as disappointing and as hurtful as those four tight losses were, um, I think there's a lot of people, particularly with the noise that comes with that, that maybe kind of shut it down, even if it's just mentally. And I'm just so thrilled for our university, our administration, who I think love our culture and our staff. But obviously, you got to win some football games too. And I know all of that's real. But the realest thing to me is watching what I got into coaching for, and that is for a group of young men to grow and a staff to grow together, um, and that's what I see with our kids and our staff. And there's just, I mean, you know, just really proud of the way everybody led, this week. Um, we could be sitting here saying we're 6-1, 7-6-2, 7-1, possibly, and but we're not. And yet, I found myself probably even more proud of the way they've handled all this come their way and all the stuff they have to listen to. And so just thrilled for our school administration and especially those kids in that locker room.
Just you kind of touched on it, but the resiliency of these guys after the big six to respond, and then the defense to get those turnovers in the fourth quarter. I mean, it's
Yeah,
kind of that was a team one right there.
yeah. I've said all year long that we have found ways to not. And again, I'm not taking anything away from anyone that's beating us, but man, every game I feel like we found a way to lose, and or we're playing. Oh man, let's don't lose. Um, and today just felt different. And obviously, defensively, us getting the turnovers, and I mean, we were very conservative in play calling, of course, and you're not wanting to make a mistake. And how about Alex McPherson? You know, I mean, he's the first one in my office Monday to say, "I'm sorry, Coach. I lost that game for you." And I said, "Dude, I believe in you. You'll make the next one." And he ties the school record today with six. So what a redemption story that is. And so thrilled for him. And obviously, you have to have great snaps and great holds. And so, Hudson and Reed did their job in the protection, but we were pretty conservative, feeling like he was going to make those field goals. And not to mention, when we did throw it, how about look, Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton, if those are not some of the top 10 plays on Sports Center or something tonight, they've missed something. So proud of those guys too.
Peter, just talk about Ashton. What did you see from him? What did he bring you guys in the second half? And just the plan to stay with him moving forward.
Yeah, I think he's got this maturity and poise about him. Obviously, he's a college graduate um, and has played in a lot of big football games, so it's not going to be something that overwhelms him. And just thought it was time for. Look, I love Jackson. I love Deuce. I love Ashton. I love all of our players. Um, but I felt like at that time, I mean, the decision, that Jackson made obviously wasn't a great one. They were in a too high shell, and we're running the football, and we got to be smart and take what they give us. And but really, we had a plan to play him all along, and probably should have done it. I thought I was going to do it the third possession, but we were kind of clicking on pretty good. Um, but just thought he was going to give us a little poise and pick me up at the time we needed it, and I thought he played really solid. Didn't ask him to do a whole lot in the passing game, but I believe he can do that too. We were just and Cobb again, another 100-yard plus game. I don't know exactly what he had, but had to be close to 150-ish or so. We're wearing him out. That's the only thing is we got to take it easy on him during the week and hopefully Cam's not banged up too bad.
Coach, you talk about the play, you talk about the defense, but the play specifically of Xavier Atkins today.
Yeah, I think he had 2 sacks, 13 tackles. That's another pretty solid game, but he's doing it every week, so I'm not surprised by it anymore. And I keep telling people, and I know, everybody looks at your win-loss record, and I get it. That's what we get judged on in most people's eyes. But it's the development of young players that we got into coaching for. And when you look over there and you see New Boy and you see Winters and you see X and you see Diaz and you see Melendez and you see Autry and Jared Smith and Crawford, I mean, that's a bunch of freshmen, that are really getting better. And that's really why we originally got into coaching, is to watch guys like Robert Woodyard develop and Perry Thompson, who is coming on and helping us. And I think X has just gotten better and better ever since spring ball.
Well, for you and Jeremiah, the fact that he averaged 5.5 yards carry, had 6, 7 yards carry most of the game. You just feel like he just, that you guys just needed to lean on him even more there in the second half of the way. The first half.
100%. Now, again, I told everybody, and those that understand football, we really had a very small sample size of what they wanted to do on defense. Really had 2 games with the new coordinator and the new staff, and they played us absolutely totally different than either game. And so, they'd been a man coverage team, and boy, they were just not going to do that to us early on. They were going to play in a too high shell, and thus that means Jeremiah's got to get the job done, and he did.
You mentioned the outside noise that you were proud of the guys, looking at that. But for you personally, is this a bit of a cathartic win for you? I know it was kind of wearing on the coaching staff, feeling like you were so close in the last few games.
Yeah, I don't. I tell you, man, my faith in what God has for me, with wins, losses, you obviously carry the weight of the building. I read 0, so I don't know. I just know what players. I went in the locker room Tuesday after practice and I had fun with our players and just went locker to locker and made them show me their screen time average of what their screen time is a week, and it's sad, really, what they average. And then you look at what apps. And man, we had a great time, but I'm like, y'all are wasting a lot of time. But that tells you what I know that they have to be, what has to be infiltrating their mind. But this is not about me, really. It's I know that we're leading this program the right way. I know how close we are, and I know how tight this staff is and how hard they're working. So yes, man, this is a breath of fresh air. But when you sign up for these, you're fighting for your life from game one. And it's that's what we do, and we signed up for it. It's hard on the families that have to hear all of it, I'm sure, and wonder about what's next and all of that. But I just can't give that power. I just go to work today and the next day and the next day and be consistent in front of these kids and this staff, and man, just make sure they see a consistency in me, and that comes from me being grounded with good friends and faith. So
Jacob. Hugh for Rayshawn, the pick 6, then another pick in the fourth quarter.
I kissed him. That may be the first player. I kissed him on the forehead. So I started to kiss Crime Dog too, but I didn't. And that was huge. Let's see, Rayshawn had 2, and with Kinsley, had the other, and then who had the fourth?
The forced fumble.
Oh, fumble. Yeah, forced fumble. So, extremely proud of those guys, and we're starting to play some different combinations that I think are making us better too. We're getting Rayshawn, Crawford, and Kaylee, and all of them on the field at the same time.
Go Jason Ferguson. We're done.
You talked special teams, obviously Alex with the field goals, block a punt. And then Rayshawn's return to open the second half to set the tone. How important was that?
Yeah. Congratulations, Chad. Does a great job with our special teams. We've only had one poor game, and that was at Oklahoma. The rest of the time, obviously, the missed field goals last week, but he works his tail off to make sure our special forces are sound and give us a winning edge. And they certainly played a huge role in it today.
Going back to Ashton, just to come in, looking how he hadn't played all season, and just help lead the team to that second half. What does that kind of just say about him? Just how well he stayed ready to get to this point?
I think everybody that I don't talk to a lot of people about, our players, because I want to be protective of them, and you never want to, because I love them all, and I wish every one of them had great success. But he didn't get here until July, because he had to stay and graduate at Stanford, and so we really didn't start getting him any significant reps behind Jackson and Deuce. Probably, I would say week 3, week 4, probably week 4 after the Oklahoma game, but you immediately see a maturity and poise about him, and he loves team. It is never about Ashton, and it's about what look, if me going to play scout team helps this team, send me over there. That is what he was like. And I just knew when we started giving him some reps that now I'm a huge Deuce Knight fan too. I think he's the future of this program in many, many ways. But Ashton's maturity and poise for a game on the road like this and experience, I think, made sense.
All right, last one.
Coach, you talked about his maturity and poise twice now, and the lack, I think, of closing ability for this offense in previous games. Are you willing to make a statement about what the future of the quarterback position is going to be right now?
Yeah, I'd like to watch the film, really, and before I know Monday we'll all get together in a press conference, and I have watched it by then and probably have a better idea kind of what I really feel. I mean, it's a weird set of circumstances. We got a guy that leads us down the last 3 games, drives and looks like $1 million and puts it in the end zone. And then we kind of sputter a little bit. So I'd love to make sure I'm accurate in what I'm saying by what I see on film before I go there.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Yep.